Good morning, everybody, and this is your DAX day trade setup for today. So just to start off on the weekly, because it's actually quite interesting what we do have here. So we had an engulfing weekly bar, and then last week it just sort of mucked around, but we've rejected the 155 EMA again, and with a bit of a hanging man. So no continuation for the bulls, but we do have a bullish pattern. We've got a piercing pattern there and an engulfing pattern here. So for all intents and purposes, yeah, even the red close above the high there, that is a bit of a validation of that pattern. Then the other thing that you need to bear in mind on the weekly is we are flirting with that trend line. So you can see there all the tails to the upside, that one touched, that one tried to touch, that one touched. So we're flirting with that area at the moment. So the minute you start coming down to the 8 hour, different picture I suppose, but we can just adjust that. I would just adjust it to that. There is our trend line, and it is a weekly trend line. I've just drawn it on the 8 hour, but that is definitely a weekly trend line that we need to pay attention to. And we're above the moving averages and just below the 155 on the 8 hour. So remember, when we're in amongst the moving averages like that, caution, 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 because it is consolidating and it can go either way. Now, when we start drilling down to the lower time frames, we start getting a little bit of a different picture. We've got a crossover of the moving averages, and the 155 is starting to cross over the 60 at the moment, and that is a fairly bullish crossover. What we're looking for is structure, and the only structure that we have right now is this gap, which is there. Being a weekly gap, look to the left, look at the structure that is actually here. So that is a fairly strong level. That's 14,047 or 14,050. So that would be an area to pay attention to. Then obviously the highs of Friday are also going to be important. So if we look at the hour, you'll see what I'm referring to, and we can just fine tune that. So we've already rejected the high of Friday and also the trend line. So you can see it's an area where you've got horizontal and you've got horizontal resistance and diagonal resistance that has come together. So it's a fairly strong area. So narrator for me this morning is pretty simple. There's actually some nice potential setups here. Pull back onto the gap, but I'm going to just drop it a little bit lower. Here is your fractal. That remember, that was an area of rejection down. We broke through it. We broke back down. We broke it back above it. So we haven't really found support here. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for price to find support here, or alternatively there. So I'm looking for price to find support at 14,018 or 13,950, or slap bang in the middle of that, somewhere around 1400. So if we can find support there and then start getting some bullish price action, there is a great opportunity for a long, and that is at 154 point stop loss. But the reason I say it's a great opportunity is that you see we are forming higher lows here with an attempt to break here. So the other option is that this is a breakaway gap and we break straight through here, come find support, and then start rolling. That would be the next area for support, for an opportunity long. So the DAX is looking pretty interesting. It's really testing this diagonal trend line here. And if it can get above it and hold it, then I don't think there's going to be much that is going to stop it. So it'll tackle these, it'll take out more, attempt to take out these highs, and then continue to the upside. And the thing is, this is a pretty big flag, to be honest. So, and you saw it on the weekly when we first looked. It's a pretty big flag, and that takes us to 15,700 somewhere. And if I do that, that's back to the previous highs up there. Although, that would be the first opportunity to take profit, would be right here at 14,864. Anyway, that's kind of the view that, the weekly is looking interesting. Could be a flag, could be a double bottom of sorts. There's so much going on here, so I would be on the 15-minute, to be honest, during the open, and pay attention to everything. Pay attention to this gap, pay attention to this area of support here, and even pulling back to here, it is still a half decent opportunity. Oscillators crossing over like that, pay attention to the swing high of today already. Those are the two key areas to pay attention to. I'm not sure I want to trade anywhere in between them, but a break of that one or finding support of this bottom one, that is the opportunity that I see at the moment. Anyway, hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.